Alright, so today, as you can see, this has some better paint on it. I repainted, I gotta let this dry. So I ended up wet sanding it, and then I recoated it with Krylon, and that still was doing the same stuff and not looking nice as it quickly flashed out. So then I got some Rust-Oleum before it dried and sprayed Rust-Oleum over it. Do them while they're wet, the solvents can mix, and guess what? Then they're compatible. If you try doing it when it's dry, they're not going to eat each other. They're going to eat each other up, and it's not going to come out good. But that seemed to work, so there we go. It's been a few days, looking good. Also, you can tell I gave these a nice quick wet sand and polish. I spent like an hour total between the two fenders, but they're looking good now too. So still didn't hear that Krylon really doesn't have a nice finish, and probably the weather I sprayed it in that was not ideal for it. Not too hot. So there we go. So now let's get this guy out of the way. Oh, by the way, just so you guys are aware, I did weigh it too. So as it sits right now with this hitch on it, 607 pounds. Now the hitch itself, that's about 120 or so, somewhere around there. It ends up we're like 500 or 494 without the hitch. So 400 pounds here, but of that 400 something pounds, 100 of it is the back wheels and tires. Another 30 is the front wheels and tires. So, I mean, if you don't count these meats and this hitch, we're down around 400 pounds total with the motor and stuff. So not bad. It's pretty much where I was expecting it. I really didn't want it to break 500. I was hoping I would be pleasantly surprised, but I wasn't. It's pretty much exactly where I expected it to be. And now I say expected it to be. I didn't weigh anything beforehand. I wasn't planning any of that at all. It just kind of happened to happen. So now, one thing I want to do, let's get this plow on there. I'm going to wipe it down, get it cleaned up, but really that's the whole reason I got that hitch on there, is for this. So this is like another 1,000,000 pounds. Oh, I think it's supposed to be 60 pounds, but that's a good bit of weight, isn't it? So I mean, I really don't even know if this thing's gonna pull it and be able to do any work with it, but we'll give it a shot, right? Can't hurt anything except for the tractor itself, right? But I'm putting pretty low gearing on it too. So as it sits right now, every 24 rotations of that sprocket on the motor, these tires will go one full turn. Every single rotation of the sprocket, it goes 4.9 inches. So I think that's fairly low, although I've never built a tractor with a 125 or had anything with a 125. But I know typically you would have a sprocket and a gear and get you down to about, what, 4 or 5 times maybe. But then I have another little gearbox and another little sprocket and a really big gear that just multiplies that way down. So I know it's more than you would normally have. I just don't know if it's more enough or just more. So get that on there straight for now. All right, clearly this is gonna have to come up a little bit. Watch, this is gonna make it pick up the front end, all this weight back here. Well, it definitely went right down to the ground. So the first or second hole. That's the second hole. We're gonna end up shortening that way up, I think. That's way out there, and it doesn't need to be. So we're definitely gonna shorten that up. But let's see, will it even pick it up or will it just lift the front? All right, let's see how far, how much weight. Oh, the back suspension's not even completely bottomed out yet. Actually, that's not too horrible. It doesn't pick the front up. So that's actually not too bad, huh? Wow, when I sit on it, it's probably gonna bottom out because that's another 200 pounds right there. You can see those front arms are like this though. So they're not too far off of. Yeah, they're pretty much as low as they'll go. The only other, if they come up anymore, it's actually starting to take the weight off the tires. Well, actually, I already took a lot of weight off. Obviously, suspension's decompressed. But, yeah, we shorten that up. We bring that in. That'll transfer some more towards the front. And let's take a look at this, because I don't think we need it this long. Because, well, I guess we might. Yeah, I guess we will. So I'm planning on using this for snow. And obviously, yeah, I will need it that long, won't I? If we kick it sideways. Oh, sweet. Look at how nice and flat that is, too. I got that thing eyeballed perfect. Let's see, where are we at for battery? 12.4. Drops quite a bit when it's under load. But cool. How cool is that? How cool is that? Yeah, I'll have to leave that like that though, because if I pull it in, if I pull that in further, it's gonna hit the hitch itself and you won't be able to go full turn. But like this, it'll just be able to grab snow and just direct it to the side, which will make things quick work of stuff. And you can see this moves around quite a bit because it's not super tight, so. But that's cool. I'm excited. I like it. All right, well that goes on there. That lifts it. That's about as high as it goes though. And I think I'm gonna want it to be able to go higher than that. So let's adjust this a little bit. If you look, there's not a whole lot of adjustment I can do, but there is some. So once we get that weight off of there, let's get that off. All right, so now for adjustments, what I can do here, let's see, well, let's extend all the way down to that. I don't think so. Let's lower it some more. Yeah. And this will end up giving it some more throw then as well. So you see, we took an inch out of it and then we did that as well. So that should give it a bit more lift. All right, now let's get these back up. Now if you look, it's crooked. So let's see. This one needs to go down a little bit. Come up a little bit. Let's lift it up. Let's get the weight. All right, and that actually looks pretty nice and level right there. The weight off. Now with it straight, let's see what it looks like. That side's a little high still. There we go. Beautiful. All right, now how high can it go? Can go as high as you want it to, really. But then it'll hit that top link. So that's it. That's as high as it'll go. But that's cool. Gives it more range now. More useful. So this was supposed to be set. So this was the hitch that came with it. This should have been about 12 to 14 inches off the ground. But I had to do it lower so this sprocket didn't get in the way. So I did it. It's probably like 7 or 8 inches off the ground now, center of it. So it's a bit lower than it should have been. But like I showed, it has a lot of adjustability here. So not an issue. We can go until just about that link hits. Let's see. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So that lifts it up a bit so you can clear some stuff. You could even turn that around completely if you want. And if you turn it around completely, you know, then you can push stuff backwards. I'm thinking, I mean, they don't tell you can do that, but I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. But there we go. Let's, oh yeah, suspension's down. I can feel it. We're leaning back. Oh yeah, we're just about on the back. Right on the bunk, 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 bunk. So obviously when it's on there, you'll have to take it easy. I don't know that this thing could do anything other than take it easy though either. Because now that's another 60 pounds. That would put us up to about what, 670 maybe? 670 pounds with like 660 something. No, 670, yep. And then about 170 of that would be all hitch and plow. So it's a good bit of weight, but pretty cool. All right, so that's that. I suppose let's set it all down. Let's get the plow back out of it and get that out of the way. Now it's set up. Yeah, so now the next thing I want to do is obviously this 3-point. I could put a little thing in there and I could pull anything, but that's a lot of weight still. And I don't want to have to pull this weight if it doesn't need to pull that weight. But we'll see how it does. However, that being said, it's still way back there. So if I want to be able to use regular tractor accessories like a sweeper or a spreader or even just a bucket to tow, I need that kind of hitch on here, which obviously it doesn't have. But I got tons of things here. So I got extra, so if it can pull, depending on what kind of weight you can take on that, I mean, I could potentially put this in here, and then I can use this to pull a small trailer. But I also have an extra one. I also have some raw stuff here. Look at that. Dun, dun, dun. So this is what I plan on using today. And what I need to do is make a little drop down on it. So the regular tractor is about 8 inches off the ground. I measured it. This has suspension and stuff. I'm going to go with 10 inches, which would just put a little bit of rake in whatever it is. Not much, so that'd be fine. So that's what I'm going to set it with. Plus, I figure when we sit on it, it's going to go down a little bit. So we're going to set it. So right now, let's imagine this hitch is the weight. And we're going to go off that and go with like a 9-inch drop. All right, now we got this. We get some measurements. I'm not gonna put gussets on it because lawnmower accessories aren't that heavy and that hard to pull. So from the front of the hole to where I'm gonna have it, the first cut is gonna be 4 inches. So the front to the first, or the front of the hole to the first cut is gonna be 4 inches. We'll put it on the bottom. I claim that to be the bottom. Oh, oh. But so far so good, nice and straight. Now, my welder can't run this continuous, so I'm probably gonna have to do this in increments. So let's see. I'll probably start here. That way it can pull what it wants to pull. All right, so this is still pretty hot. As you can see, that weld actually looks pretty good though. So we got that all filled in. That's all welded up. This is, like I said, if this were going to be for anything other than this, I would grind it nice and smooth, which is pretty much there anyway, but I would grind it nice and smooth, put a plate over this side and over this side and weld it all around the plate, and I'd probably also put a gusset in here. Since this is for just lawnmower accessories that would go on a normal pin hitch, like a ATV, you know, it's got the hole and you put the thing through it, not a ball or anything. I mean, it's not going to see anything more than a couple 100 pounds, so it'll be fine as it is. It's already way stronger than a regular lawnmowers would be, so we're good there. Now, next thing I want to do is get it measured and cut again. If we want it at 10 and I'm 8.5, 18.5, sorry, then I need to go 8.5, I'm sorry. So let's go 8.5 down from the bottom of this. And that puts us right here. But that being said, now we'll weld the sides and then we'll come in and we'll weld that. We'll decide how much we want, we'll chop it off, and we'll pilot drill. That piece of steel that I just cut up and turned into this was about $13, $14, I believe. So not bad, not bad. And now I'll be able to connect any kind of normal lawnmower type accessory to this tractor. Cool. So normal lawnmower stuff, 3-point hitch. I can put ball on it and I can put straps on it. So there we go. The last thing I'll need to do is to add weight to the front for if I need to, you know, optional, and that's going to be easy. I'm gonna do that here another day. But for now, let's wipe this thing down. Let's get this painted. Buff it up, 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 buff it up,